Hello folks, welcome to the channel. Hope everybody is keeping well. So what are we doing today? Well, today is just a carry on from a video that I've just put out there recently. Go and check it out. I'll put a link up here. And basically I fitted some new EBC Sintered HH front brake pads to my Triumph Speed Twin 1200. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to go and find a nice quiet section of road, and then we're just going to bed the brake pads into the brake discs. Now I've emailed EBC about a week ago just asking them what is the correct bedding procedure so that you get the bit of material from the brake pads onto the brake disc so you get maximum braking, because I did find their website was just a little bit confusing with all different coloured compounds, etc. So there's nothing specific for the street use sort of EBC HH pads, so that's why I've written to them. But in light of having no information really that I can use from them, what I've done is I've just trawled the internet, some of the forum sites, and Dave Moss Tuning, again I'm going to put a link in the description down below, but I'll put one up here as well. Well, he's done a video on how to bed your new brakes into the rotors. Very important. It's a thing that a lot of us really don't tend to do, if we're being honest. So what I'm going to do then, according to the holy book of Dave Moss, who knows everything that there is to know about things that you need to do on your bike, so what he says seems to be the best way to do it is to bed your new pads into your rotors, is to go up and down a quite safe stretch of road at 30 miles an hour, and then apply the front brake with a light bit of pressure, and then don't come to a halt, and then release the brakes, and then do it at 40 miles an hour with a bit more pressure, but keep the pressure constant. Again, don't come to a halt, release the brakes and continue, and then finally do it at 50 miles an hour. But where I live is a 40 mile an hour speed limit, so what I'm going to have to do is find a private nudge nudge wink wink road to do that last one. So that's what we're going to do today, is just bed the new EBC HH Sintered pads into the rotors, and all we're looking to do is getting a nice surface between the brake pads and the discs, and then the transfer of material from the brake pads onto the discs, onto the rotors, and then that will give us maximum braking power when we need to do an emergency stop. So let's go and do that now. And what I'm actually doing is I'm not using any front brake at the moment. I'm just going to save that for the test, shall we say, as he nearly crashes into the bank. So yeah, try not to use the front brake as I go to the brake test area to bed them in. So now let's go and bed the brakes in. So 30, 40 and 50 on a private road. Nudge nudge wink wink. I've also got one of these DJI wireless mics in the back of the jacket, so hopefully the audio on the bike should come out as well. Woohoo! Hopefully anyway. Right, so here we go then. There's nothing around, so 30 miles an hour and light pressure on the brakes. Oh yeah, you can hear the noise from the discs. Don't come to a stop and then continue. So we're going to do that 13 times according to Dave Moss. Nothing behind. What we're going to do is at 40 miles an hour, and why you don't come to a halt is because what you don't want to do is have a lot of the pad material when it's really hot just sort of building up on one part of the rotor, so you get kind of a high spot. So that's why we don't come to a complete stop. So I'm not going to bore you, we're going to do it at 40. I do so 13 of those at 40, and just applying a bit more pressure but with constant pressure, and then I'll find a private road, nudge nudge wink wink, and then do them at 50 miles an hour with a bit more pressure, but again applying more pressure but constant pressure, if that sort of all makes sense. And then I think that's going to be everything done. But if you've got any comments to make, folks, about this bedding in process of your brakes, then put them in the comment section down below. So let's do 40 miles an hour. Everybody's out. They all got to spin around. Yeah, all the boys are out. So I've found my private road. I've done my 50 miles an hour 13 times, and I've just made sure that I didn't come to a complete stop to then get sort of too much of a build up of the pad stuff on the rotor, so you don't get that sort of potential pulsing on the when you come to brake to almost a stop, which is what I've had on this before. So yeah, what I have noticed is these HH Sintered pads from EBC, yeah, they do make a bit of a noise, certainly a bit noisier than the OEM ones, but hopefully I won't have any more squeaking and I won't have any more pulsating when I'm just coming to a stop, which is what I was getting before. Although I sort of cleaned the rotors, cleaned the OEM pads, but it still was given a little bit of pulsating. So thought I'd change the pads and go to the EBC HH ones, and hopefully that's made a difference. Time will tell. So that's it, folks. If you've got any comments to make about bedding your brakes in, then please put any comments in the comment section down below. There's not much out there, but I've just followed the instructions pretty much verbatim as per Dave Moss. Again, I'll put a link in the description down below. Again, yeah, if you've got any comments to make any comments, please, that'd be lovely. In the meantime, ride safe, and we'll see you all again soon in the next video. And that has been how to bed your EBC HH Sintered pads in from new for your Triumph Speed Twin or any other bike. Cheerio for now. Take care. Bye. Folks, don't rush away. This is just a very quick update. So between then and now, I've taken the bike away to France for a day trip, did about 120 miles. And I'm happy to announce that having fitted the HH Sintered pads from EBC, I'm happy to say that I've got no squealing from the brakes and I've got no pulsating through the front brake lever. So nothing to say that at mile 200 the squealing will come back, but at 120 miles, having bedded the brakes in, yeah, they are absolutely superb. They make a little bit more noise than the OEM brake pads, but maybe that's to be expected. And the initial bite is a little bit softer, but they are certainly more powerful than the OEM brakes. And I would suspect, I'm no expert, I would suspect that as the miles pile onto the rotor, with the pad depositing some more material on the rotor, then the braking will get better. But yeah, hey, I'm absolutely no expert whatsoever. So yeah, no squealing, no pulsating from the front brake lever, and I do just wonder whether the initial problems that some of these bikes had when they were first launched, whether that was because people weren't bedding the brakes and the rotors in properly or not doing it at all. So that's something none of us really do we? We just tend to take it easy for the first 100 miles, just like scrubbing in a set of new tyres. So yeah, I'm just wondering whether maybe these brake pads and discs, the OEM ones, were just a little bit susceptible to when the rotors were hot, to having the pad material when you came to a stop, then that pad material being deposited on the rotor, creating high spots, thereby creating the pulsating that you get through the front brake lever, which is certainly my experience in the now 420 miles that I've put on this bike. But I'm happy to say the last 120 miles with the new pads, that has all gone away. No squealing and no pulsating from the front brake lever. So yeah, it's going to be a double thumbs up for me for those HH Sintered pads from EBC. So there we go, folks, just a very quick update. More than happy with them. As ever, ride safe, and go and click on the link up here and go and have a look at the day trip to France. Had a really nice time. Cheerio for now.